It was 1987, the time of the Great Depression. There's this kid who's sitting down with his father along the dining table for night supper. As the mother served the food to the kid and subsequently the father, you could see the silver plates reflecting the pleasant yellow lights in the room. While eating, the kid looked at his mother standing still along the chair, which was unusual. So out of curiosity, he goes over and asks why she wasn't eating. Little did he know that he was about to hear something that would change his life forever. In this cut of business stories, we are going to look into the life of Warren Buffett and how he became the greatest stock market investor of all time. The humble beginnings. In 1930, on the month of August, Warren was born to the parents Howard and Susie in the town of Omaha, Nebraska. Howard was a stockbroker and Susie a homemaker. The Buffetts were a conventional American family who had to manage a tight budget towards the end of every month, which meant luxuries were totally out of question for Buffett from a young age. In fact, the family's financial background was something only slightly above the poverty line that had a depression hit the country, they would be affected first. But that didn't stop Buffett from dreaming big. Rather, he challenged himself of becoming a millionaire by the age of 30, or else that he would jump off a cliff. The early businesses. Given his family background, Warren was always keen on making money. Being aware of the importance of money from a young age made Buffett to look for ways to make as much money as possible. One day, when Buffett was 12 years old, he went to his grandfather's shop and looked at the soda can disposals throughout the day. So as the day passed, he would collect all the empty cans to figure out the brand which sold the most. Then later, he would take the same brand of soda selling through the neighborhood. This way, Buffett learned to always take a customer-centric approach towards every business. So by the time he was 16, he had several small businesses under his name. Nothing you would expect from a 16-year-old, but he had pinball machines across the town, a newspaper distribution company, and other small ventures. Well, you would think how much money could he have possibly made with all that? But although the businesses seemed small, the money that Buffett made at that time was much more than that of his teacher's salary in school. He had a net worth equivalent of $53,000 in today's money value, and all this just at the age of 16. Buffett's entry into the stock market. After being rejected by Harvard, the Oracle of Omaha attended Columbia University, where he graduated from in 1951. Declined by his mentor Ben Graham to work for him, Buffett returned to his hometown. But later in 1954, in a turn of events, Buffett eventually got to work for Ben Graham, where he stayed for 2 years. After quitting his job, Buffett decided it was time to start something of his own. So, in 1956, Buffett started the Buffett Partnership Limited by pooling money from mostly his friends and relatives. Using this money, Buffett started to invest in various companies that he found was lucrative. Unlike his mentor Ben Graham, who solely leaned on numbers for investing in a company, Buffett believed that a good management was necessary for a company to grow. Using this, Buffett would invest in various companies over the years. In fact, he was so good at this that within 6 years, the Buffett partnership rose to a magnificent $7 million in value, which made Buffett a millionaire at a mere age of just 32. Though 2 years late, Buffett still managed to fulfill his promise of becoming a millionaire. To give a sense of his humongous net worth, the average American family's median income at that time was around $5,000 a year. Buffett becomes a billionaire. Most of Warren's net worth was tied to the Buffett partnership, which he closed in 1966, the year prior to which he bought a controlling share of stock in a company known as Berkshire Hathaway. Initially, Berkshire Hathaway was a textile manufacturing company, and as the textile industry was seeing a downfall, Buffett was now left with the company on the verge of its extinction. So Buffett figured the most lucrative approach to save Berkshire Hathaway would be diversification. What is diversification? It is the act of investing in other markets or industry so as to reduce the risk and volatility. In simple terms, when there's a risk of particular industry dying, you expand your business by entering another industry, so even if the primary business fails, the new business will still keep the whole company running. So Buffett started investing in various other companies such as insurance, furniture, media, and food. You name it, and Buffett had his piece in every pie. This includes some of our favorite companies such as Duracell, Dairy Queen, Apple, and the list just keeps going. One of Buffett's favorite investment was the Coca-Cola, which brought a huge upside to Berkshire Hathaway. Even today, Coca-Cola brings over $500 million every year as dividends alone to Berkshire Hathaway, which is why Buffett said that he would never sell a stock of Coca-Cola. Over the years, Berkshire Hathaway would acquire hundreds of companies under its name. So as these companies rose in value and popularity, so did their market shares, which eventually led to Buffett earning the third comma to his name, which put him in the billionaire status at the age of 55. And remember, all this happened before the dot-com bubble burst in the 1990s. From age 55, Buffett's net worth only kept increasing exponentially. The surprising thing is, 99% of his net worth came only after the age of 50. Today, Buffett's net worth is over $81 billion. But in spite of having the capability to own his own island, Warren Buffett still lives in the house he bought for $31,000 in 1958, located at Omaha. Philanthropy. Being the world's richest man at the age of 60, Buffett still had something missing from his table. Maybe he still had a haunting memory of what his mother said while she stood over the corner of the table. Maybe he remembered the sacrifice that people had to go through to bring food to the table. Maybe he remembered what she said on that unforgettable day. Or maybe we'll never know. But since the year of 2000, Buffett had given over $40 billion to charity, which includes the money he had given to feed the hungry children in Africa. And that wasn't it. Buffett also pledged to donate 99% of his wealth to charity after his death. Which brings us to the end. I hope you're still wondering what Buffett's mother could have possibly said to him. Well, I guess I'll leave that to you.